Hey, Pretty Girl Club. I wanted to do a psychoanalysis video on the Zendaya situation with her sister because Zendaya recently received the title of being one of the highest paid actresses. And isn't that funny how literally shortly after her random crusty sister comes out of the woodworks trying to destroy her career? I want to talk about this because I think that this woman is an excellent case study. Also, I just wanted to show an image just so we can see kind of the phenotypes we've got going on here, the body types we've got going on here. And I think that this woman, her mindset towards Zendaya is actually very common in the Black community. A lot of unambiguous women with inferiority complexes have struggled with jealousy of their siblings. So if you're the leveled up sibling, if you have the same father, if you have the same Black father, and maybe that man married your mom, but like he didn't marry your sibling's mother, there's that dynamic as well. So I want to go through and psychoanalyze every single sentence that this woman has said about Zendaya. And by the way, a lot of people that talk to tabloids and stuff, those people get paid, those people get clout, those people get fame. So this actually reminds me of how women with inferiority complexes, they want to ride the coattails of your success as the exotical. Whenever you're on a pedestal, there's always somebody who wishes they had what you had. And so the way they try to ride your coattails is by tearing you down. That's the only way they can get fame. It's the only way they can get clout is by saying that they know you personally and then using their proximity to you to bring you down in hopes that people will kind of get on their side. Because it looks like this woman, when she made this article saying that Zendaya doesn't support her, Zendaya treated her like a fan, all of this just comes off as extreme clout chasing. We all know that a lot of unambiguous Black women, especially obese women like this lady on the screen here, they have talked about feeling invisible their whole lives. So this woman, she has probably felt invisible. She's probably felt overshadowed. She talks about her own abandonment and daddy issues in the article. But she said that she has the same dad as Zendaya. Oh, and by the way, she is about double Zendaya's age. So that's another thing. Have you ever noticed that women with inferiority complexes, they waste their lives. They don't know how to social climb. They don't know how to take care of their bodies. They don't know how to level up. And so they'll be in their 50s literally obsessing over women in their 20s. They'll be obsessing over women that are 20 years younger than them, 10 years younger than them, 30 years younger than them. So imagine being a 51-year-old woman who needs to be worrying about her health. She needs to be worrying about getting her wig on straight. But no, instead, she's worried about Zendaya, who is most likely more successful than she will ever be. But she said that they only saw each other once in the past 7 years, and that when they did, that she was treated like a fan. Well, that's how you're acting, though. If you're going to tabloids gossiping about someone and you're trying to like spill the tea on this celebrity, you are actually acting like a fan. And then when she says that she was treated like a fan, she doesn't give any examples. A lot of Black women with inferiority complexes, they will say things like, oh, you think you're better. Oh, you're treating me like trash. You have a superiority complex. But then when you ask them to name a specific example or a definition of what that means, they can never give you an answer. Because they're hiding behind a victim complex so they can make you look like a bad guy. Because they know that you have the halo effect. They know that a lot of people love you. They know that you're the popular girl. So they're hoping that by making you look like a mean girl, that it will kind of like tear down your pedestal. And then this lady, she said that Zendaya was not there for her when she found out she had cancer. She said, I tried to get in touch with Zendaya when I was diagnosed with cancer, but family members slammed the door on me. Okay, so notice how she says family members slammed the door on her, not Zendaya herself. So do you see how this actually mirrors our experience in the Black community, where when you're the leveled up one, you're the popular one, you're the pretty one, then you get used as the scapegoat. Zendaya didn't even slam the door on her. She said herself, family members slammed the door on her. So maybe that was her own father. Maybe that was like Zendaya's team, because she's an actress. She's busy. She doesn't have time to sit around. She's not like you. She's not sitting around wondering about what somebody else is doing. Another thing that this woman reminds me of that makes her a good case study is that instead of her worrying about getting her cancer under control, instead of her worrying about getting her obesity under control, she's going to tabloids talking shit about her own sister. So do you see the bad social climbing tactic there? A lot of women with inferiority complexes, they don't know how to level themselves up. So they'd rather just like be a leech off of somebody else. And then this lady has the audacity to say, I went through cancer and chemotherapy all by myself with no help, no support. I just want to know why Zendaya wasn't there for me. So you want to know why Zendaya wasn't there for you, but you don't try to contact Zendaya behind closed doors. You don't try to address the problems with Zendaya's family members, so her father, her mother, maybe her other siblings. No, you'd rather go to a tabloid and try to create all these negative articles about your own sister. And then she says, I went through chemotherapy and stuff by myself. Okay, so what was Zendaya supposed to do? Was she supposed to quit her jobs and come give you money so you can pay for the cancer treatments? Was she supposed to stop acting and stop traveling and, stop planning her wedding, stop with her life so she could come and quote unquote support you? So once again, they will say things like, oh, you don't support me. You're never there for me. Do you see the victim mentality that mirrors a lot of other women with inferiority complexes? I don't have any support. I'm all by myself. A lot of women who feel inferior to us, they constantly seek our validation. They're seeking our validation. They don't care about the other people that did support them. Instead of focusing on the people who actually do support them, they'd rather focus on the ones who didn't. This reminds me of that black lady that was a boxer, and she went out of her way and got mad at light-skinned women who didn't support her. And it's like, okay, why would you focus on those who don't support you? Why not focus on the people who do support you? Why are you so concerned about random leveled up mixed women who are living their best lives and not thinking about you? Why are you so offended by that? Especially when a lot of women in the black community do that towards us. Was this woman there before Zendaya was famous? Was she supporting Zendaya financially? Was she promoting Zendaya? Did she help her build her career? Probably not. So isn't it interesting how they have this mindset of they want you to help them, but then they don't want to help you. And then if you level up and surpass them socially, and you have more social status than them, like Zendaya, then suddenly they give you the same talking point of you don't speak to nobody. I had no support from Zendaya. She wasn't there for me. I want to know why she wasn't there for me. So it's like, you forgot where you came from. You're a sellout, essentially. You weren't there for me. You weren't there when I was down and out. You didn't come try to trauma bond with me. You didn't try to come back down here to the bottom with me when I was suffering. You didn't give up your pedestal. You didn't stop your life and put everything on hold for me when I was suffering. So do you see this mindset of she is defining her life based on her suffering? That's actually a very common psychological theme that we see amongst women with inferiority complexes. They are known for complaining. That's literally what this whole article is. This woman literally is getting famous off of complaining about a mixed woman. Same old social climbing tactic. You complain about a mixed woman, you complain about isms, you complain about not having status, you complain about nobody being there for you, and that's how you get attention. This is a tactic that she's using to not only get Zendaya's attention, but also to get the media's attention in general. Also, another interesting fact is that this lady, LaTonya, she was born decades before Zendaya's parents even met. So it's not like the dad was like, oh, let me have a side baby and then abandon. No, it wasn't even that dramatic. She was already born before her parents even met, way before Zendaya was born. So Zendaya and LaTonya's father had her when he was just 14 years old. And then, I guess he grew up and he moved on, he got married or whatever, had Zendaya, and she happened to become famous. And also, I found it interesting that this lady complained about not seeing Zendaya. She doesn't feel seen. So once again, back to that psychology of feeling invisible. She says, she hasn't seen me more than once or twice in the past 7 years. She wants to feel seen by the woman she puts on a pedestal. Notice a pattern here? And then LaTonya also said she feels like the black sheep of the family. Have you ever heard that talking point from anybody? I don't fit in. Nobody likes me. And then they'll try to project this onto you as an exotical. Your white side won't accept you. Your family won't accept you. Well, it sounds like this black woman, her mixed family didn't accept her. Her multiracial half-siblings and family members didn't accept her. So do you see where a lot of the projection comes from? This is a fabulous case study on the psychology of women with inferiority complexes. And then this lady, she starts talking shit about Zendaya's fiance. So first she starts off by bragging. She says, They've been together quite some time, and I actually met him on Thanksgiving of 2018. So she's talking about Tom. She said, he's really, really cool. He's down to earth, and my family likes him. They just look like an odd couple because he's so short and she's so tall. But other than that, I think he's the one for her. So not only did she come on to try to drag Zendaya and make her look like a bad person, but now she's actually talking shit about who Zendaya, the exotical, the pedestalized one, the pretty girl, the skinny girl. Now she's talking about who she chooses to be in a relationship with. So remember how the other day I talked about how no matter what we do, black women, they're always going to say that us exoticals are wrong. No matter who we date, he could be black, he could be white, doesn't matter. So look at this relationship that she has with Tom. Her sister's saying, oh, they look weird together because, he's basically too short and she's too tall. They look like an odd couple. Okay, so is that supportive? Your sister's getting married and you're telling her that her and her husband look like an odd couple? I can see why she doesn't talk to your dusty ass. Like, imagine being a celebrity. You take time off as an actress. Your fiance takes time off as an A-list actor. You guys go to a Thanksgiving with these ghetto-ass people. You're trying to be nice to them. You're being down to earth. You actually are seeing them. So her complaint from just a few minutes ago where she said, oh, I've only seen her twice in the last 7 years. I want to know why she wasn't there for me. And then now, a couple of seconds later, you're bragging about how you saw them on Thanksgiving. So which one is it? Do you see them and you have fun and you enjoy their company, or do you not really see them? And why are you expecting someone who actually has a career to literally just give up their career so they can spend time with you? Have you ever noticed this? When you are the pretty girl, when you're the exotical, when you're the pedestalized one, there's always somebody with an inferiority complex who wants you to give up your position so that you can be on the same level as them. And then she said, I saw Zendaya at my grandma's funeral. I hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving 2018 when we all went to her house. When I tried to talk to her, she just gave me a one-arm hug. It felt like I was just a fan. Okay, so now even hugging your sister is not enough. So now you're supposed to hug them with 2 arms, I guess. Like, how many seconds was Zendaya supposed to hug you for, LaTonya? How many arms, was she supposed to put 2 arms around you when she hugged you? Do you see how they make up all these crazy ass rules whenever they put you on a pedestal? So it's like, okay, you can't give her a 1-arm hug. I guess she was supposed to give a 2-arm hug. And I guess she was supposed to stand there and talk to her or spend the entire hour with her. If it was that serious, why didn't LaTonya say anything right there in that moment? Hey, Zendaya, you just gave me a one-arm hug. I want to hang out with you. I want to spend time together as sisters. Why didn't she say anything back then when she was face to face? So do you see how this points to that psychology once again? You're scared when it comes to face. You don't want to say shit when you're at Zendaya's house. When you're at this pretty woman's house, when you're at this leveled up sibling's house, you can't say shit. Because, you're getting what you want. You're essentially riding your coattails. You have the close proximity to them that you want. So no complaints then. This actually reminds me of Ice Spice with her dark-skinned black best friends. When Ice Spice was being quote-unquote colorist, and the dark-skinned girls, they didn't say anything right then when they were kikiing and laughing along with Ice Spice. They didn't say anything when Ice Spice was their friend. But as soon as Ice Spice leveled up and started popping and becoming famous and stuff, then suddenly they had a problem. This is very similar to Zendaya. As soon as Zendaya gets announced as like the highest paid black actress, highest paid biracial actress, and, she's super famous or whatever, she gets paid $1 million for each episode of Euphoria. Now suddenly this girl is mad because Zendaya gave her a 1-arm hug. And we all know why she's really mad is because she's skinny, she's pretty, she has a relationship that this woman probably envies. She had both of her parents in her life, which this woman obviously envies because she mentioned it. She has wealth, she has pretty much everything that this woman could ever want. And then she says that she is estranged from her dad. Okay, so if you're estranged from your dad and Zendaya's dad, then why are you surprised when you tried to contact their family and they didn't respond? You just admitted that you are estranged from Zendaya's family. You're estranged from your father and his side of the family. Zendaya comes from the father's side of the family. So why are you expecting them to suddenly be BFFs with you when you just said yourself, LaTonya, that you're estranged from them? Do you see what I mean? So they can be estranged from you. Women with inferiority complexes, they can admit that they're estranged from you, they don't talk to you, and then they get mad when you treat them the same way. They get mad when you don't really speak to them. They get mad when you give them a 1-armed hug. And then they say, you're treating me like a fan. No, bitch, you are a fan. That's why you feel that way. You're a fan of Zendaya, clearly. And then there were friends and family members that were confirming to the Daily Mail. They said that Latonia hasn't been a part of the family for years, and they said there's a huge age gap between Zendaya and Latonia, and they don't really have a lot in common. Exactly. What do Zendaya and Latonia have in common besides their father? And then Latonia is estranged from that father, so they really have nothing in common. Latonia doesn't like their black father. Once again, does that sound familiar? Black female hating her black father. Does that sound familiar? So she doesn't even like her own black father. Zendaya happened to grow up with this black father who helped her with her career. So rumor has it that her father is her manager or was her manager. Okay, so her and Latonya have nothing in common. They don't have the same body type in common. They don't have the same health habits in common. They don't have the same hairstyling preferences in common. They don't have the same career in common. So I don't understand why she's expecting Zendaya to be her BFF and kiss her ass. No, she just wants Zendaya's money and fame. She has extreme envy. She wishes that she could go back in time and be like her sister. And then the Daily Mail, they even pointed out that Latonia was bitter. They said in the article, rather bitterly, Latonia continued, Zendaya is very active with my other sister and brother's kids, but my grandkids don't even know her. They think she's just from the Disney Channel. So this woman, she's got kids, she's got grandkids, and she's mad because her kids and grandkids are not being babysat by Zendaya. She's mad because Zendaya didn't spend time with her family. She literally says, oh, she's active with my other sister and brother's kids. So that means, remember, she said she was estranged from her dad's side of the family. So she must not be that estranged because she literally was out here investigating members from her dad's side of the family, her other siblings. And then she determined that due to her investigation, that Zendaya is more of an active auntie with the other kids. So does that sound familiar? You've always got that family member, this crabs in a bucket type of family member that's stalking you, they're watching you, they want to see how much you hang out with daddy and them, with papa and them, with all the other nieces and nephews. Oh, well, she's a better auntie to the other people. Do you hear how ghetto and trashy this sounds? Zendaya has been famous since she was 14 years old. Black women on YouTube, they always tell us, mixed race women, light-skinned black women, privileged black women, they tell us to go where we're celebrated. So Zendaya is simply doing that. She's going where she's celebrated. She's celebrated on the red carpet. She's celebrated by Disney Channel. She's celebrated by Tom. She's celebrated by her other siblings who don't go and create nasty articles about her. So she's going where she's celebrated. So once again, does that hypocrisy sound familiar? So they can go where they're celebrated and they can tear you down, and then they get mad when you don't want to hang out with them after they've torn you down. They get mad when you don't want to hang out with them when you have said that you are estranged from their side of the family. Okay, if Zendaya has the same dad and you just said you're estranged from them, why would she go out of her way to talk to you? Especially if Zendaya is close to her dad, I could see why they wouldn't really talk, because if she is like BFFs with her dad and then Latonia is super mad and bitter at the dad, yeah, that would be a conflict of interest. And so it also says that after Zendaya's success, her father quit his job to become her manager. So I feel like there could be some sibling jealousy because her father was willing to make sacrifices for Zendaya that he wasn't willing to make with Latonia. Not to mention the fact that Latonia was born when he was only 14 years old. He was literally a freshman in high school when she was born. And I'm not creating excuses for the father. I think the father, he sounds very dusty, to be honest, in terms of his former behavior. So I don't know if he still is like that, but I mean, clearly he did something right with Zendaya if he helped her to build her career. So I really think that's a part of what the jealousy comes from as well. Have you ever been the sibling where, you know, you're kind of the star student, you're the star athlete, you're the talented one, you're the one that your parents believe in the most? And so then you got this jealous ass, bitter ass sibling or cousin that's randomly mad because you got to have more opportunities in life than she did. All of this is really just envy over Zendaya's privilege. And then Latonia said that she feels like she's been pushed out by her dad. You know, she's been pushed out because essentially the dad abandoned her and married this white lady and then had Zendaya. Okay, so then why would you want to be close to them, Latonia? If you are admitting that you think that he's essentially dusty, he abandoned you for the white woman, you know, does this story sound familiar? So if you truly feel pushed out, why do you get mad that Zendaya gave you a one-arm hug and that you haven't seen her that much? Do you see the hypocrisy? Do you see the flip-flopping? One moment she's saying how bad of a family they are, and then in the next moment she's saying that she wants to be a part of that same family. She says, I don't even tell people anymore that she's my sister. I'm ashamed of my dad and how he raised us. So you don't tell people that Zendaya's your sister, but you went and told all these fucking media outlets that she's your sister. Do you see the lies right there? And then she lies at the end of the article. She's like, I believe they never told her I had cancer, but I'm sure she found out later. Okay, so first you said in the beginning of the article, you got mad because you had cancer and went through it by yourself and that Zendaya didn't support you. What is support? Support means money, but okay. And now you're saying Zendaya didn't even know you had cancer. And she might have found out after the cancer was gone. So where is Zendaya wrong then? Tell me how Zendaya did anything wrong. Then she says, I don't want her money. I just want to be in her life to show her that I love her and support her. So this is giving, okay, remember Selena, the singer, and that fan, Yolanda, and how she kind of had the same mentality? That's what this is giving. Like, first they hate on you when they don't get your attention, and then they come back a few seconds later and beg for your attention. They beg for your support. But what do you ladies think? Is this cautionary tale reflective of the mindset of a lot of women with inferiority complexes? Have you ever had a jealous sibling, jealous family member, jealous coworker who hates on you 1 minute, and then the next minute they want to be your BFF? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.